Hey guys, I just wanted to show you my gauntlet from the tutorial that David Guyton put out. I'm really happy with it so far. It's unfinished. I did have to make some changes to it because either my arms were too short or the metal was just unavailable. Let me zoom up in this part right here. There's actually a part missing right here underneath the last flap. And I didn't put it there because my arms were too short and it would hit up against my elbow pit. I don't know what else to call it, so I had to remove it to save some room. The articulation is really nice. There isn't any clankiness, and I have a full range of motion. It feels natural, like you're wearing a glove, but just a very heavy glove. All the pieces do move. Now I like this gauntlet better than the other gauntlet tutorial that Guyton put out for the reason that the rivets on the fingers are on top on this gauntlet. On the other gauntlet, the rivets were on the side, and when you would move your fingers side to side, the rivets would get caught on each other, and it wouldn't allow, flowing finger movement, as where this glove, you actually have it. Now, if you go ahead and take a look at my brass, you'll notice that it's not beveled up like it was in the video, and the reason for that was I couldn't find any brass that was thick enough, and I ended up going with some brass sheet that was really paper thin, so there wasn't really much I could do with it besides, attach it on there flat. Now I'm going to go over something else here that wasn't in the video, and that's the assembling of the buckle. Now, one second while I undo this. It's rather hard with one hand. Okay. Now this first part here is just a piece of rather thick leather, and I riveted it to the side of my van brace here, and it's on there pretty tight, you can see. The way I did this side was I took a piece of thin rod and I hammered it into a crude oval shape here, and to attach it I took the leather and I folded it over the piece of metal and then rivet 2 rivets into the leather to keep it in place so it can rotate and move freely. And for this part right here, this moving piece, what I did was I took a T-shape piece of metal and you put the long part through a hole, and so that the 2 flat pieces are on the other side, and then I put a piece of leather over it so it doesn't rub up against the skin, and then those 2 rivets there are to hold that piece of leather there that allows it to stay on the glove and move back and forth without falling out. Now, I've never watched a video on how to assemble a buckle, and I didn't look at any other buckle before I assembled it, so I just winged it. There's other ways to do it, and I'm sure those other ways are a lot better, but since I didn't get a chance to see how Guyton did his buckle, this is how I did mine. Anyway, I just thought I might as well show you guys how my buckle worked, but it works quite well. As you see, I'm pushing up on it right there, and it's not coming up. You can move that piece right there from going up if you just bend it a little bit more. I see I didn't bend mine all the way, so it doesn't stay. Anyway, here's the brand of glove that I used, if you guys can see that. Sorry for it being so blurry. This glove actually looks like the one that Guyton had in the video, and that's the reason why I chose it. Other than that, it was really cheap and it had Amazon Prime. It was really easy and convenient to work with, so I really suggest you get that one. For the most part, the entire gauntlet was rather easy to assemble. Most of it is just bending, but if you have the jig, that part becomes really easy. It's not a very hard project to do. You just need to be willing to put in the time to assemble all the pieces. But the hard part is cutting out the pieces, and it's really hard to cut it out if you don't have something like a CNC machine or a plasma burner. As you can probably see, my metal was burned a bit there, and that was from me using a plasma burner. You see, it's a lot easier than using something like snips, where it would take you a very long time to cut out all the pieces on a flat sheet and then bend it. I really suggest you end up going the whole plasma burner route. It was really easy to do. Now, another suggestion I'm going to throw out there is that you should use a jean rivet. And the reasoning I throw that out there is jean rivets are really easy to use. It's just a 2-piece rivet, a male and female piece. You just snap them together with your fingers, and you can either use pliers to close them loose for articulation, or you can use a hammer to hammer it really tight and make sure that the rivets on there really strong. On top of that, these come in large packs and they're easy to buy. Okay, now I'm going to push this cat away and put the gauntlet on. I'm going to show you how it looks like when you're holding something like a sword or something of that nature. And it feels really nice when you have it on. It's just, for some reason, it makes you feel like you're a badass. Now, over here I have a sword that I made not too long ago. And what's neat is you really still have your full grip. You're not sacrificing any of your grip there. Now, on another note, if you feel that the glove is too heavy, you should probably do what I did, and the vambrace and all of the hand parts were made out of 20 gauge stainless steel, and the fingers were made out of 22 gauge stainless steel. So what it really did was it lightened up the fingers a bit, gave you a little bit more wiggle room, and it overall just saved a bit of money because 22 is a little bit cheaper and easier to work with. Now, this gauntlet's really easy to do, and I would think anyone can do it, so you might as well give it a chance. Alright, now there's something else I wanted to tell you guys. First, I'm going to start off by showing you all the stuff that I used to make the gauntlet, but some things that I noticed, and I'm pretty sure are going to come up in people's questions. The gauntlet, it's really sturdy. It's really hard. I've gone around punching, cabinets and walls, and it hasn't bent at all. I've let people stab the gauntlet with screwdrivers, hit it with hammers while my hand's inside of it. You can't feel anything when you have it on. It's protective, but I'm pretty sure it depends on what type of glove you're using as well. Also, it takes, rather long to put all the parts together. I have about 6 or 7 active hours of work on it. I do plan on making a right glove and also a few other sets just till I run out of my metal. So that's my video, guys. Thank you for watching.